Are assault weapon bans aimed more at appearances than results?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When the Clinton ban came through in the 90s, that was certainly something that was done based on the cosmetic features of the firearm. People were, thought that certain guns looked scary or they looked off putting or, that the features and the way, oh, it can take a bayonet, it has a, flash hider or whatever, and it has a pistol grip and all these sorts of, oh, collapsible stock and a shoulder thing that goes up and all these things. They were trying to, pit the physical appearance of the firearm and sort of associate that with being more dangerous than something that maybe had a more innocuous, basic sort of look. And before I speak further on the subject matter, I would like to go back to the other comment about property rights, okay, and defending your property. And I'd like to piggyback on that and just mention that, yes, while it is important to defend our property rights and to defend our property, what I'm trying to say, it's also important that our property is our property. And I think that it's crazy how at the age of 25, 26, you can pay your house off and then you still have to pay the government for the right to live in your home for the rest of your life. I think that's bullcrap. I mean, so we also have to look at when is something really yours? You know what I mean? And I think we have to talk more about how screwed up property taxes are, how something that you're supposed to own is not even really ever yours. That's one area. And also, Maj had mentioned Dr. Lott's work, and I want to piggyback a little bit on, I'm going to answer sort of a combination of the previous two questions, if I may. And it's that yes, while cosmetic features are a factor, and also they try to change the language, when you're using their language, you're fighting by their rules. You're playing the game by their rules, basically. And when you allow them to control the language of things and the language that you use, you're essentially giving in to their argument. And while yeah, I hate words like assault weapon. It's such an ignorant term, right? It's very ignorant, and it's ignorant to ban guns simply on the appearance of the given firearm, and that's what the original assault weapons ban aimed to do. And they proved that, well, wait a minute, we can take a Mini 14 that looks just like a regular hunting rifle with a wooden stock, and it fires a bullet at the same damn velocity as any other AR might with a 16-inch barrel. So it's a moot point to ban a gun simply on its appearance, and essentially allowing yourself to, fall victim to, the dangers of using your emotions to decide things that logic should be deciding. And logic tells us, and of course, as Dr. Lott astutely, given us through all of his research and everything, is that, changing or banning a firearm based simply on the appearance or whatever terminology you want to try to use to describe it is simply just not a winning strategy. And they found, of course, Dr. Lott's work proved that you know, it didn't do a damn thing to reduce crime in any meaningful way. And in fact, more guns we have out there, the better off that society is going to be. And I do want to piggyback quickly on what Mosh said about gun owners in general. And I do agree with Mosh that, gun owners generally as a group of people are some of the most salt of the earth people you ever meet in terms of just being willing to help and, being generally pretty good people. I mean, I have met some people within the firearms industry that can be, kind of jerks, but overall, generally, people are pretty cool. And, I think that that's a trait that once someone partakes in, exercising their rights in such an astute way, like they go out and train or they go out and shoot on a regular basis or whatever it is they do, they kind of become a custodian of that right. They become an ambassador of that right. And the more people they're around, the more people begin to kind of go, oh, okay, well, this is what gun owners are like. And I'd like to say that overall, or I'd like to think overall, that view is pretty positive. I would say that most people probably have a positive, interaction with gun owners versus a negative interaction for sure. So I think that, what we see reflects that for sure.